Australia is considered one of the flattest continents in the world, and its ancient soil is divided into desert and semi-desert lands. The remote areas constitute the largest part of its land, and it is considered the driest continent of all. Despite all of this, the southeastern and southwestern regions are characterized by their moderate climate, unlike the northern side where the natural landscapes are broken. We will talk about 10 amazing facts about the country of Australia. The population of Australian citizens in 2018 was estimated to be around 26 million people. The indigenous people of Australia were historically divided into 250 groups with many different languages. After the discovery of Australia by European explorers, specifically the Dutch in 1606, Britain was able to seize it and fully annex it to its colony in 1788. Currently, the majority of Australia's population is of European descent, making up 85%. They are followed by Asians, who constitute 12% of the population. There are also Africans, most of whom are immigrants, making up 1%, and the indigenous people, known as the Aboriginals, who account for less than 3%. About 60% of Australia's population is concentrated near the eastern coasts. Australia ranks 52nd in the world in terms of population size. The population density of Australia is 3.3 people per square kilometre. In 2001, the average life expectancy of Australians was estimated to be 79.5 years. Australia is a country of immigration, and therefore the majority of its population consists of immigrants from all over the world. This diversity of origins has led to a variety of cultures and their diversity, creating a unique and diverse cultural character. The culture that has had the greatest influence on Australian culture is American culture, particularly in terms of cinema and television. Although Australia does not have an official language, English is considered the de facto national language, and Australian English is very distinctive in pronunciation, resembling British English more than American English. It was believed that between 200 to 300 languages were used by the indigenous people of Australia before their contact with Europe, but only 70 of these languages have survived. Ancient Australian visual arts began in caves by the indigenous people, and they relied entirely on orally transmitting their folk arts through celebrations and stories. Australia has a strong economic market with a high domestic production rate and a very low poverty rate. The Australian dollar is the official currency of the country. In 2006, after the merger of the Australian Stock Exchange and the Sydney Futures Exchange, the Australian securities market became the 9th largest market in the world. Australia also ranks as the 13th largest economy in the world and 9th in terms of GDP per capita, ahead of the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Canada, Japan, and the United States. Australia's GDP exceeds $1.5 trillion. In the global market, Australia is considered the largest exporter of agricultural products, especially wheat, wool, and mineral products, such as iron ore and gold, in addition to energy resources like natural gas and coal. Australia is considered the largest island on Earth and the smallest continent in the world. It is also a country with no land borders, covering an area of approximately 7.6 million square kilometers. It is bordered by the Indian Ocean to the west and the Pacific Ocean to the east, and is separated from Asia by the Arafura Sea and the Timor Sea. The Tasman Sea separates it from New Zealand, and the Southern Ocean separates it from the Antarctic continent. Politically, Australia is divided into 6 states and 2 main territories: New South Wales with its capital Sydney, Queensland with its capital Brisbane, South Australia with its capital Adelaide, Tasmania with its capital Hobart, Victoria with its capital Melbourne, Western Australia with its capital Perth, the Northern Territory with its capital Darwin, and the Australian Capital Territory. Lake Hillier, the Pink Lake in Western Australia, is considered one of the strangest lakes in the world, containing pink-colored water. The lake is approximately 600 meters long and 250 meters wide. The color of the water remains unchanged even if the water is transferred outside the lake. Therefore, all claims that this is a reflection in the water have no basis in truth. If you take an empty bottle, fill it with water from the lake and take it outside, the water inside the bottle will remain pink. Scientists have conducted many experiments to determine the reason for the lake's color. Initially, they believed that the algae present in the lake were the cause, as they are responsible for changing the color of most lakes around the world. However, the latest studies have proven that this is not true. Currently, some scientists believe that the pink color is due to a pigment produced by bacteria that thrive in this environment, and it is these bacteria that give the lake its strange pink color. If you want to learn more about the world's most unusual lakes, you will find. We have an episode on the channel talking about the 10 strangest lakes in the world. Just as Australia is beautiful and an attractive place for tourists, it could also be the last place you visit, especially if you're not careful about all the venomous snakes, rodents, and insects found in Australia. The death adder is considered one of the most dangerous snakes in the world. Unlike most other species, it doesn't actively hunt, but rather stays in place and ambushes its prey. Its bite affects the nervous system, causing paralysis in the body, and if not treated within 6 hours, it can lead to death. In addition, there's the eastern brown snake, which is found in eastern Australia, the fierce tiger snake located in the southern part of Australia, and the taipan. There are also reptiles and rodents like the platypus and echidna, and many deadly types of spiders. If you want to know more about snakes, watch our episode on the top 10 most dangerous snakes in the world. Mining in Australia is considered a primary industry and a contributor to the Australian economy. Historically, the mining boom also encouraged migration to Australia. Various ores and minerals are extracted throughout the country, and mining contributes $138 billion annually to the national economy, representing about 54% of the total goods and services provided by Australia. Australia is considered a leader in gold production worldwide. In 1851, gold was discovered near New South Wales, and just weeks later, it was also found in the colony of Victoria. This made the colony of Victoria the largest and richest of Australia's colonies. Australia is ranked as the second largest gold producer after China, producing about 287 metric tons, which accounts for 9.2% of the global gold output. Recently, Australia has turned to surface gold exploration. Melbourne is the most densely populated city in all of Australia and is called the Second Greece, due to the numerous Greek landmarks present there. Melbourne is the capital of the state of Victoria, with a population exceeding 4.5 million people. It is considered one of the largest global cities in terms of growth, economic development, and prosperity. It is a very important hub for job seekers and is regarded as one of the most significant job markets worldwide. It is also characterized by its cold and windy weather on the coastal areas and the heat in the inland areas of the city. Culturally, the city is at its finest and is considered a powerhouse in the educational field, attracting many citizens from around the world for academic degrees. The Melbourne Arts Conference is also held there, making it a strong destination for intellectuals and artists. Australia as a whole moves 7 centimeters northward each year, and research has confirmed that this movement is due to the shifting of the tectonic plates on which Australia sits. Of course, since 7 centimeters per year is a very small amount, people do not notice this change, but it is clearly observed on GPS systems. A group of Australian scientists has confirmed that the geographical location of the country will be recalculated, as it has shifted about 1.5 meters to the north. Regarding what appears on the maps, by the year 2020, Australia's new coordinates will be about 20 centimeters further north from its actual location. Australia possesses the largest number of natural heritage sites in the world, and UNESCO is trying to protect and preserve them throughout Australia. UNESCO has announced a list of these sites, and not all of them are natural places. There are 4 non-natural sites, which are Carlton Gardens, the Sydney Opera House, the Royal Exhibition Building, and the Convict sites. As for the rest of the heritage sites, they are natural sites such as the Great Barrier Reef, Kakadu National Park, the Willandra Lakes region, Lord Howe Islands, the Tasmanian Wilderness, Uluru Kata, Chuta National Park, and the wet tropics of Queensland. I wonder what you like most about Australia, and would you like to travel there for tourism or education? Write to us in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and share. For those seeing us for the first time, subscribe and activate the bell so you receive our videos as soon as they are released. See you in the next episode.